let's say Cardona is giving him grief. Let's see what this looks like. Hey, you. How great is that, dude?
Dude, it's fucking insane. I'm sorry for cursing, man.
No. Do whatever you want. How much fun? And look, he's got the hands like, oh, no. I didn't mean anything.
Dude, this is crazy to see, man. Oh, my God.
That is so cool. You did that. Zombie Sailor.
This is Notsam Wrestling.
Introducing your host from New York, here is Sam Roberts.
Here we are with some bonus Notsam Wrestling content for all the it's a niche of a niche of a niche of a niche, but it's big, man, and I'm part of it, and my guest is a big part of it. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only Zombie Sailor is here in the Notsam studio. What's going on, man? How are you?
Sam, good to see you, brother. Thanks for having me over. I've seen this studio plenty of times on YouTube. It's an honor. This is awesome, man. Thanks for having me. Let's shoot this shit, man. Let's get this going.
Well, I mean, I'm excited first and foremost at the fact that your figure line is actually coming out. I mean, let's and we'll go back even further because I go back even further with you in this sort of wrestling toy space. But January 2021, you dropped the sculpts for Cardona and Myers.
Yes, sir.
In sort of retro Hasbro-esque form. And you go, look, I was going to wait, but I'm working on this. And people start going, what? And then sketches start coming and more sculpts start coming. And the sketches are amazing. And it goes back even further into the Zombie Sailor lore, right? Because the sketches are done by the person who did the original Hasbro sketches, Ron Rudat, who you had gotten to know previously. Then, 6 months after that, people are going like, are these figures ever coming out? Is this a real thing? 6 months after that, the pre-order drops for Series 1. Hey, pre-order, they're going to be made to order for the most part, Series 1.
For sure.
They're all going through your website.
That's right, zombiesailor.com.
That's right. 13 months go by. And here we are today.
Here we are, man. Here's the end of the long, long race. The finish line has been crossed.
Yeah. Now we've got them here. So they will be part of that. I mean, I don't know whether to just go right, just go right to busting the figures out. So people are like, all right, but like, I figure we would have some kind of a conversation first, right?
Yeah, for sure, man. Pick away. Ask me whatever you feel.
So I met you first on Instagram way before a year or two ago. This is probably about 5 years ago at this point, maybe a little more.
Yeah, 2015, I want to say. It was the summer of 2015 during the time you're about to speak of, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. That's because I don't even remember who. I mean, it could have been through Cardona or something like that.
Probably.
Probably, yeah. Because you just posted a thing on Instagram that you had found case fresh Hasbro's. WWF, Hasbro, Series 1. You had a ton of them, and they were absolutely case fresh, which means not only are they mint on card, but the cards are perfectly mint. It literally, and you started this whole thing on your Instagram saying you were a time traveler, and that's how you acquired these, because
Yes,
the figures looked like if you had walked into a KB Toys in 1989 and found these figures, 1990 maybe, and found these figures for the first time.
Yeah, it was unheard of. These were toys at the time that were 25, 30 years old.
Yeah.
And they're completely uncirculated. Of course, you'll go on eBay, you'll go to the occasional toy show, you'll see it like, beat to hell with like a price tag on there, markers, what have you. These were never even removed from the original shipping cartons that Hasbro sent to toy stores, to warehouses, what have you. So they were like just uncirculated, damn near gem mint. It was an amazing time for me. That is what I credit put me on the map and kind of, built up my my toy business. So I owe so much of everything that I have in life to action figures, let alone to WWF Hasbro. So this is like a really cool full circle moment.
Yeah.
And I couldn't be more proud and more thrilled. And, again, I just owe it all to that warehouse find, man. It all stems from that.
It's so crazy too. And it literally, I was not a collector of MOC, almost anything. Like I have some of the old Jax figures still on card that I bought like when I was, I don't know, 12 or 13 and just started that one to play with, one to keep in the package thing. But like, I wasn't a collector of MOC Hasbros until like I started seeing them on your Instagram, and it's like, I can't not, and I bought a ton of them from you, and luckily I still have them, because the unfortunate part of the story is it was about a year before the Hasbro boom. So stuff was, I mean, it felt a little bit expensive at the time, but compared to today, dirt cheap.
Oh my God. Dude, Jake the Snake, mint on card for Hasbro. I have no idea what it goes for now. I'm going to say, what, 150 if I had to guess, give or take.
Especially on the ones that you had.
Yeah. And when I had him, I had over 100. I think it was like 108. So I'm like, damn, I'm going to be buried with these Jake the Snake Roberts figures. I'm never going to get rid of them. So I was selling them, I think, for like $32 or $34. There was some weird ending numbered price. And I sold a good number, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should lower these. Or maybe I should contact Jake directly to sell these at his like gimmick tables or whatever. Because I never thought I would sell that many Jakes. It was just a number that I thought was not possible. And now here we are 6-7 years later. And again, they're going for what they are. And my goodness, that was like bargain bin clearance prices, in retrospect.
I remember like after I bought a bunch of stuff from you that was kept factory fresh, and then you had the tag teams that were factory case fresh, and I got a bunch of those. I met you in person for the first time at like a New York Comic Con, I think, at the Javits Center.
Yes.
And you literally had like practically gem mint Roddy Piper Hasbros just there in your booth. And I was like $40, $50, something like that. Yeah. And I was like, well, while I'm here, I guess I'll grab one. And I did. Thank God I did.
I think that was my last Piper also, because I remember that very fondly. I think it was $50. I'm pretty positive that was my last Piper. And that thing was like pristine.
Yeah.
There was like not even like the slightest little centimeter freaking ding on it. It was, oh my God, man. That was like cherry, man. And oh, man. And again, another thing, I had like 40 something Pipers at the time. And, I think he was charging $40 for them, whatever it was. And I thought I would never get rid of them. And now I wish I still had them.
It's so crazy though, that like how much things jumped and everything. Does that part of it drive you crazy? That I could have gotten so much more for them, or once they're gone, are they gone and you're moving on to the next thing?
Well, I mean, it's like a double-ended sword. I'm like, on one hand, I'm like, oh, it's gone. I have no more, inventory to worry about. I have no more boxing up orders, whatever. But on the other hand, it's like I kind of wish I kept him and I sold him at like a higher price, because I could have made probably literally like 10 times my money. It's like, Macho Man's, what he goes for now, and Hogan's, and so I had 70, 80 Ultimate Warrior ones.
80.
And I think I was charging, I think, $90 for him at the time. Again, gem mint, cannot stress this enough.
Yeah, even what struck me was the color. The color on the packaging. Like everything has at least a little bit of sun fading, even if it's just from being in a store.
For sure.
Not even slight fading.
Never saw the light of day. So I could have made a lot more money if I sat on them and I held them, or even got them graded. But then, you know what? I made a lot of people happy. At the time, when I first dropped them on Instagram or at comic conventions, I made a good amount of money. But again, if I never had that warehouse find that was made public and sold in that massive amount of like scale, I never would have, again, had the business, never would have had my own toy line. It never would have led me to other toy lines potentially. And here we are. So
yeah, I created Zombie Sailor. That's the value, right?
100%, man. Like Kevin Smith, I heard like, he's, a big time director per se, and he's had so many like hits and he has such a huge fan base. I was reading an interview from him in a magazine way back when, like I'm talking a decade ago. I can't even tell you what the publication was, but he sold his like prized comic book collection apparently to fund the filming of Clerks. Yes. So let's just say he never sold his comics because these are my comics. I want to keep them. They're going to be worth money one day. if he never sold them, there wouldn't be the Kevin Smith that you and I, and pretty much he's a household name that everyone else knows of.
Right.
So at the end of the day, it was all done for the greater good, and I wouldn't change a single thing.
Because that makes sense, right? It creates the reputation that then allows you, because any reseller isn't going to be able to just go and create a toy line, right? That's kind of.
I mean, essentially anybody could, but they need a ridiculous budget and a huge cranium like me, full of this large brain. No, but yeah.
Well, you also need a trust, right? That people are going to be like, yeah, I'll order these now, and they might not be here for a year.
Exactly, right? Exactly. Like if I didn't have I'm not saying I have 1 million followers. I have like 30,000 followers, whatever, last I checked, but it's all organic. I didn't pay for a follower or whatever. I'm sure there's a lot of bots, but whatever. These are all people that know how long I've been selling for. 2015 is when I had the Hasbro lot, but I've been selling vintage toys before then. Mm-hmm. So I'm a trusted brand, trusted guy. People put a face to the business. They know I'm not going to rip anybody off. Everything's legitimate. I'm an LLC. And so if you were just starting up now, if Joe Schmo made a company, I want to make wrestling toys or whatever, you have a tremendous uphill battle, because again, even if you had unlimited finances, that certainly helps. But at the end of the day, it's like, you need to be like somewhat established before you start running, right? It's like a baby. You have to crawl before you could start walking, and you have to walk before you could run, and so on and so forth. So I did all of that groundwork before we actually launched this toy line. It was a perfect storm.
So at the same time that you're selling these Hasbros, you also have some of the original sketches, some of the design sketches
for sure.
that Hasbro did, and you did like prints of them. And you said like these are just super high quality prints, and you can get them for whatever, $15, $20, whatever you're selling them for. But somehow between selling the prints of the sketches and selling these Hasbro figures, it leads you to the place where you meet Ron Rudat.
Yes, sir.
Who was the original sketch artist behind the Hasbro figures that WWE, WWF at the time did. And why, to me, that's important is because so many people remember what these wrestlers look like as figures, mm-hmm. right? Like the era that we kind of grew up in, where wrestlers were these over-the-top cartoon characters.
Real life cartoons, absolutely.
We associate that with how they looked as figures, and we all know what the body looked like. We all have memorized this thing. It's ingrained in our heads. So to find the guy who kind of sketched that version of these guys, to me, that was super cool. How do you find Ron Rudat?
Man, it's a crazy story. And the odds of it happening are really, really slim to none. So, I'm not going to get God or whatever. But I mean, this is too much of a coincidence for it to be not to be like some sort of plan. So my brother, who lives in North Carolina, he works with Ron Rudat's son. I had no idea who Ron Rudat was before this. I've seen sketches online of Hasbro figures and whatnot, WWF, but I've never I've seen the signature, but I probably didn't even register or whatever. And after I got the 2015 WWF Hasbro lot, he's like, "Oh, do you know who Ron Rudat is?" I'm like, "Oh, no." And he explained to me who it was. He's like, "I work with his son, Jamie." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." He's like, "Oh, you should contact him, whatever." And I contacted him, and the rest is history. So what are the odds that this guy that finds Case Fresh warehouse, WWF figures,
yes,
and then a year later, he's like, "Oh, by the way, I work with the guy who designed those, his son, and he's telling you to contact his father."
Yeah, it's weird. Like, as a guy who's because you're a toy dealer before all this, right? Like, you're just a guy who you're a toy dealer.
Yeah, man.
But something about, you just keep getting drawn in to the Hasbro world, right? The WWF Hasbro line just has you locked.
Dude, it just sucked me in, and thankfully it didn't spit me out yet, but I am in for the long run.
Well, we'll see, right?
Yeah, let's see. Series 2 is coming soon. But yeah, it's just crazy, how all this just came about. And then so I spoke to Ron Rudat. I contacted him through Facebook, and he lives in Massachusetts. I'm in Rockland County, New York, so it's about a 3-hour drive for me. So listen, 3 hours, it's not bad. I mean, I could have been in freaking Nevada, I could have been in Arizona. He happened to be within driving distance.
Yeah.
So I told him my deal. I told him what I'm doing, and I'm like, "Hey, do you have anything for sale?" He's like, "Oh, I have a lot of stuff in my attic." I'm like, "Say no more, man." So yeah, I think it was the next day or the day after I went there, and I went there with a boatload of cash. I had no idea what to expect. And
what did he have in his attic? What did he have?
I would say around 900 carded, mint on card, WWF Series 1. I mean, everybody from green cards, red cards.
No.
I swear to God, he had a lot of red cards. He must have had, maybe like around 50, 60 red card figures. He had a ton of Yokozunas.
What?
A ton for whatever reason. Green card Yokozunas. He had green card loose Yokozunas in plastic Hasbro baggies. Yeah, and dude, like it was crazy. And he gave me a hell of a deal. I didn't rip off Ron Rudat. We're fucking buddies now. At least I consider he's part of this toy line. I'm fully transparent with him. I trust him. God willing, he trusts me.
You employed him.
Yeah, I employed him, man. Yeah, I employed him. And so, I was showing him on eBay. Okay, this guy goes for this. I can give you that. This guy goes for this. And we just made a big bundle. And I'm like, okay, it's probably worth about this. I could sell it for that. And he told me what his price was. And we, made a deal. So that was nothing, because
have you sold all those?
I'm sure I kept a couple for myself. He also had a couple of the green card standards. It has like that green card.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
with
like
tag.
Exactly. It's like either stapled on or like on with Scotch tape or whatever. For people that are watching at home, the factory sent to Hasbro like a basic, a sample for them to approve of. And yeah, like, okay, change the color on this guy's tights or, add this or add that, make this logo smaller. So it's kind of like an approval sample. So I kept all of those. There was a Ricky Steamboat in there. The last Macho Man figure. So I guess Macho Man 4
with the jacket.
With the jacket. Yeah. I'm trying to think what else he had, but that was, and then also he had some weird like Brutus Beefcake 2 figure where like the shears were striped instead of it being the solid black. And, the name Brutus the Barber Beefcake under the figure was missing. So it was definitely some sort of sample. He was, of course, clueless to what it was because, this is like 25 years prior. So he doesn't really remember, nor does he care.
Yeah, they've just been up there.
Yeah. And so I have that in my collection. I'll probably never part with it. I was realistically, someone offered $10,000. Were they full of shit? Maybe. Mm-hmm. But it was like a collector, I don't remember, but I know he had a lot of stuff on his page or whatever. So I'm sure there was some merit to behind his offer. But what am I going to do with 10 grand? You know what I mean? It's like, it'll go in like 2 months.
Right.
That's like 4 months mortgage, and then I'll never get that figure again. I might as well keep the figure forever and forgo the 10,000.
It's one of those that even like you can't even justify. Well, if I really want it, I'll sell it. If I really want it, if I get the money, I'll buy it back. Yeah. There's no buy it back.
No, yeah. That once that goes in that vault, it's locked unless you give that person some crazy number, which doesn't make any sense. If you're gonna get paid this amount and then in like 3 years to quadruple the amount, that doesn't make sense.
So what do you do with the lot? You just sell all that stuff to like private sellers and stuff that reach out to people. Hey, I got this, I got that.
Yeah. So that one I actually didn't post on Instagram. I think I have, if you probably go back to 2017, was it? I think it was January of 2017. You'll scroll back and you'll see like I was showing like I had bins full of like, the red cards, green cards, like I was saying. I didn't post any for sale because when I had the 2015 case fresh sale, I literally on a piece of paper, like I'm so old school, man. I can't even work. I could work my iPhone and that's about it. And I had a whole like client list. Okay, John's looking for this, that, and this. Mike is looking for that, this, and that. So I had a whole client list of people at Instagram. I'm like, okay. So I already had instantly sellers like lined up. So I'm not going to post it, claim sale, go through all that work when I could just go down my list and do a lot less work and, take care of my loyal clients.
Yeah.
Right. And these guys that spent, hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars with me for the other guy. So I'm going to take care of them. Hey, I got a fresh shipment in. These came from the Hasbro designer. Do you want them? Hell yeah, we want them. And that was it. I got rid of them in like a week and, made my money back. But the coolest things were the drawings, the hand-drawn blueprints of the figures. It was the layout. So, he drew that to kind of give the sculptor the input of how the figure should look, how it should be designed, the proportions. And he had a lot of that. Ultimate Warrior 1, Andre the Giant, Akeem, First $1 Million Man. Dude, I can go on and on. I have like 28 of them, I want to say, 26 of them.
Wow.
And yeah, man. So it was just a treasure trove that was just completely untouched. And I've asked him, did you ever have collectors here to pick you before? He said, oh yeah, they come all the time, but they were G.I. Joe collectors.
Wow.
Yeah. So Ron Rudat was like, he's a big part of like the G.I. Joe lore, however you pronounce that word. Edit that, Sam. Yeah. And he designed the original Cobra logo. That's an iconic image.
Oh wow.
He designed that. He has the original freaking pencil drawn logo hanging on his freaking living room wall. It's crazy to see. So all the collectors went there just looking for G.I. Joe stuff. So they're probably picking through WWF Hasbro, 1, 2, 3, kid, next. Oh, I'm spitting on your mic. It's like next. And they're not looking for that, man. They're looking like for like Snake Eyes, mint on card, all that stuff. So I can't even tell you the last time he said a collector was there, but it certainly was never anybody looking specifically for WWF stuff.
So once you establish this relationship, does it start to like, do you go in your head, if I had his sketches and these ideas, and if I could figure out how to sign these guys, like when does the realistic idea of maybe I could start my own line start to formulate?
Yeah. Well, a couple of months after that, I was selling pins, like enamel pins.
Yeah, remember that.
They were very popular on Instagram at the time. Like, they were cool novelties. They look cool. You could wear them on your hat, vest, what have you. So I was doing a lot of wrestling pins. So I had him commission me a set of like orange card inspired pins.
I remember that.
Yeah, so that was really cool. And like those sold really well. They were completely unauthorized, by the way. But they sold, listen, I only sold 150 of each, God forbid. So, but they like sold out instantly. People seem to have really drawn into the whole Ron Rudat aspect. That adds instant credibility, no matter what, anybody could say or try to chop it down. And, of course, I'm always fascinated with action figures. My entire life, I always loved like the inner workings of it, and reading Toy Fair magazine back in the day, and just YouTube videos, the whole production aspect. Always fascinated by it, man. It's such a beautiful, like, wonderful process. So fast forward a couple years, Mattel re-releases their retros, and Mattel put them on ice. And being the vintage toy guy that I am, and having the past, 5 years of just selling case fresh vintage figures from Mighty Max to WWF to Congo, or
that's right. I forgot you had Congo. Waterworld?
Yeah, Waterworld. I try to forget Congo. I will never forget Waterworld because it's starring my best friend Kevin Costner.
Yeah, I've seen the shout out.
Yeah. So yeah, I needless to say, I saved up a great deal of money over just selling toys on Instagram. And I'm so thankful and I'm so appreciative of it. So I'm like, they put retros on ice, Mattel. No one else was doing it. And again, they didn't do it in the way I would have liked. So I said, if not me, then who? If not now, then when? The pandemic came. I'm in my house playing with my ass all day. I'm like, what else am I going to do? I have the finances. I have the contacts. I have a wild idea. Why don't we make 90s inspired wrestling toys in this image that I feel a lot of fellow collectors would truly enjoy? And the rest, as they say, is history. And here we are with the finished 90s inspired, officially licensed wrestling project, wrestling action figures that are 100% licensed through the talent.
Yes.
The talent gets a percentage of every single figure sold, a good portion, mind you.
Yes.
So all these guys that listen, I'm not trying to make it sound like these guys are charity cases, but some of them could use money. And I'm like giving these guys royalty checks that they probably haven't gotten in their careers, let alone in a long time. And I'm very, very proud of that. Because there's somebody that could be, you don't know if they're struggling to pay their bills. I don't know if they're like having a regular 9 to 5 now and they're like 60 years old and they still can't make ends meet. I don't know. But when I speak to them on the phone or I speak to their estate, they are very, very thankful for these great royalty checks. I could have gave them a flat rate. Hey, here's $500. Thanks, kid. I made the same amount of figures. I'm not about that. I want to take care of the people that paved the way. And if it wasn't for these guys, I wouldn't even be in the position that I'm in. So why not take care of them? Kind of like the Pro Wrestling Tees model. You're selling the guy's t-shirt. You're giving him a cut of the sales, the lion's share of sales. So I figured, I'll apply that same formula to action figures for wrestlers.
Now I've got my Hasbros, obviously. I collect everything, but I've got pretty much every Mattel retro. I think just about every Mattel retro. I pick and choose with a lot of other companies have come along since you announced, and we're able to get product out quick.
Sam, let's be real. Would you consider these guys companies, or are these people that are 3D printing, things that make the retros look like gold?
Whoa.
Yeah. Anybody could 3D print an action figure and call themselves a company, but listen, the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
So.
Look, and I haven't touched yours yet. I got very excited, for instance, to have a Hayabusa. From Chella came out with a Hayabusa. I got my retros. I got my Hasbros. I got my Hayabusa. I'm feeling pretty good, but I haven't. And by the way, yours does come at a premium.
Sure. Yeah.
But for me as a collector, I was not, when I saw your sculpts, I was not nervous I wasn't wondering when the cost came in at whatever it was, $40 or whatever.
Bucks, yeah.
I was like, that's actually fairly reasonable based on the fact that this is a guy, not a company, right? It's a dude
For sure.
who's starting a figure line.
A handsome dude.
And if I'm looking at them, I'm like, I'm gonna put a gamble on it. You said factory fresh Hasbro.
Yes, sir.
I ordered from you. I got it in the mail. Factory fresh Hasbro. You said this is going to be a premium quality line,
Yes, sir.
and you're being disrespectful to other toy lines. That takes chutzpah, and it's going to take product to back it up.
Absolutely. Listen, man, the Zombie Sailor brand is a very, very pivotal thing for myself. You know, it's like something I take very seriously.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't put the name on something that I feel was an inferior product.
Right.
And as far as like, $40 goes, of course, you can get a retro figure. They had the bundle for like what, $50 for 4 figures.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think when Mattel put out retros, they were like $10 at Walmart. Yeah, I mean, it was.
A lot of things like, again, with the pricing, people don't understand. I'm not charging more because, hey, it's just me, so I can get more money. I'm going to sell less. It has nothing to do with that. Like just the production of each figure, each one figure is about $20,000. Just the production before we even start factoring in how much it costs per piece for those to come off the assembly line, right? So $20,000.
Like for the mold and the...
between like the Rudat sketches, between the actual sculpts from Alex, who is an amazing sculptor. Alex, God, I don't even know how to pronounce the last name. Heinke. Hinky. Alex, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. I love you. I owe you everything. I love you, Alex. And my painter, Jen Johnson, she's wonderful. She's lovely. Amazing painter. She paints a lot of the AEW figures for Jazzwares, mind you.
Wow.
So yeah, it's not her first rodeo. So between the Ron Rudat sketches, the Alex sculpts, the paints, to get the molds done here, all the molds now are being done by TrueCast Studios, which is the same in-house studio that does the castings for NECA. So it's
wow.
So like, I mean, just to make the molds for each one's about $1,000. That that's before the China molds, which are like $7,000-$8,000 each. So when you factor all of that in, and then the paint, and then the testing, and the shipping back and forth, it's about $20,000 per figure. So again, just to start, right? So now let's just say.
And by the way, you're putting out a set of 6.
Yeah.
And before those have even come out, I've got pre-orders in. You've already done 2 other exclusives: the Jeff Jarrett and the Danhausen.
Yes, sir.
So that's 8.
Well, the first series 1 was 5. We had Dino Bravo,
right?
Sabu, Matt Cardona, Brian Myers, and Earl Hebner, the referee. Who doesn't need a referee in their wrestling action figure collection?
We never got one from Hasbro.
Now we have one. So
7 figures total produced before anything sees the light of day in terms of collectors' hands.
Absolutely. Yeah. So but now 5 are here. Everyone's starting to get them. We're still boxing up orders. I literally was down to the wire. Supposed to be here at 6. I got here at 6:30. Sorry, Sam. I was literally boxing up orders till about 4:40. Jet to the post office box. I dropped off, 100 something packages today, and then they picked up another 200 earlier. So yeah, I'm
they
like,
must love you.
Oh yeah, they love me. I mean, shit. God knows how much I spent in the past week to buy postage. I mean, the workers hate me.
But that's, by the way, this is crazy too. Like, what about that decision to do your own distribution?
Yeah.
Like, you're not wholesaling anything. You're just...
Oh yeah, I'm wholesaling. Like, thing is, like, I want to pick and choose like who's like selling this, because I don't want it to be like, hey, this is like, freaking Cletus's flea market. You know what I mean? Like, I want to have some integrity behind these products. It's like Gucci's not going to like, sublet their shit to like, Walmart or whatever. So
I love it. You are a premium brand.
Oh, dude, exactly.
You're the luxury brand
yeah.
of wrestling action figures.
Yeah, I'm Zombie Vuitton.
Yeah.
How about that? Turn that into a shirt. Yeah. So,
Zombie Vuitton. So who are you dropping? Who's wholesaling these? Like what?
God. I mean, there's like, just a couple of like, good shops that just reached out to me. I'll kind of like go on their website, check out their page, check out their social media, and I'll be like, okay, this looks like shit. I won't even answer the guy. Not for nothing. All due respect. If I didn't answer you, sorry. But a couple people, if their shops look good or their names I've heard of before, then it's great. I think this is, Sam, I have some exclusive news for you.
Exclusive!
Soon to be the #1 distributor of Heels and Faces action figures.
Yeah.
From Zombie Sailor. Yeah. Pro Wrestling Tees.
Whoa!
Yes, sir.
Pro Wrestling Tees scored the deal, huh?
Oh yeah. It's a brand that's synonymous with just the wrestling culture in general, wrestling merchandise. Sure, they're pro wrestling tees, but they're a lot more than that. They're a great brand. Ryan, the owner, he's a cool guy. I respect him so much. I love his brand. I love his vision. Like I was mentioning earlier, how he takes care of talent. I love that. I love giving back. So I reached out to him, about a year ago, and I told him what we have going on. Not a year ago, maybe 6 months ago. And I told him, hey, these are going to be here soon. Blah 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 blah. Do you want to order any? So he ordered a good amount. Yeah. So yeah, shout out to you, Ryan.
Oh wow. So theoretically, if you go to Sabu's Pro Wrestling Tees page, T-shirts are there. And theoretically, Heels and Faces 1 will be there.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be like that. I think they're gonna promote it themselves on their page or whatever. So like
I guess obviously because it's not made to order either. There's a finite amount of
100%. Yeah. So like however many they ordered from me, like we have a deal in place. Sabu gets whatever percent, and so on and so forth. So whatever he bought it from me for, that percentage, then I give to Sabu. So Sabu's like already paid from that. You know what I mean? So yeah, so it's not like you have to order from there. And okay, if you order, let's just say 100 for argument's sake, and only 20 sold, which God forbid, I don't foresee happening. It's not like Sabu is going to sit there with 80 figures just rotting away. He doesn't get paid for them. So he already got paid because they already got purchased from me.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
Right. So then Pro Wrestling Tees or whatever other shop might have them. That's on them now. But Pro Wrestling Tees, huh?
Yeah. But there's not going to be a ton because, again, I don't want to flood the market, and these are very costly to produce. So it's going to be like, a small amount. But, I predict it's going to be an absolute, bloodbath mayhem when we announce this, like formally, that they're going to be carrying it. I don't know when, but some figures were ordered more than others. Like, obviously.
So Pro Wrestling Tees did not have an equal amount of each figure.
No, sir. Yeah.
Ooh.
It was ordered based on, of course, who you would think would sell more.
Yeah.
So
I can guess.
Yeah. Of course. I'm sure we're. Yeah. So I don't want to say you necessarily have a better shot of getting Sabu than you would like, a Nerl Hebner or whatever. But some guys
order quick.
Yeah, order quick. Yeah,
if you want someone, act now. Wow. So then, and then is the idea you're not going to stock a lot yourself. Like if you get it from you, it's all about the pre-order, right?
100%, man. And before, like I forgot, like lost my train of thought. Like we were saying, like I decided to distribute this myself. So like 98% of what I'm doing, I'm going to distribute myself. So here's the thing. Like I said, these cost a lot of money to make.
Yeah.
And it's such it's such an obscure product that, you're not making 15, 20,000 Dano Bravos. You're making like 2,000, 2,500, 3,000, whatever. So in the grand scheme of things for action figures, that's very, very, very small.
Yeah.
Right. So now if just a production's cost me $20,000, and let's just say we're only making 2,000 of them, that's already $10. Hopefully my math is correct. That's like $10 a figure right there before the actual costs are rolled into what it actually physically. You know what I'm trying to say?
Now let me ask you this: the toy dealer in you, right?
Yes.
Because you're also the secondary market guy.
Yeah.
You get the secondary market more than anybody. Is there a part of you that is going like, man, I want to hold back some of these and just sell them on eBay? Because you know that once everybody's got them in hand, and then they start getting compared to everything else out there, and then people start to get excited, especially the Sabus of the world. Like it's gonna obviously, I think. Series 2, it's going to do you're really smart. And it shows how much faith you have in the product to wait on pre-orders for Series 2 before and let everybody get Series 1 in hand.
100%.
But you know that they're going to go crazy on eBay. Especially, well, I'll tell you.
I hope so.
There's Pro Wrestling Tees will probably have their wave, right? Because now you don't need to get them on eBay. You get them on Pro Wrestling Tees whenever they come out. But once that's done, I would imagine the secondary market's going to go crazy, especially, I'll bet, here's my thought. When Series 2 is in hand with people, Series 1's going to go nuts.
100%, man. And again, that shows you how much faith I have in my product, because I could have easily put out Series 2. Sure, maybe the same amount of people wouldn't have purchased Series 2 as they did Series 1 without having something in hand. And believe me, I fully get that. I understand. But I have so much faith in my product. I wanted people to have them first. I wanted them to like, holy crap, these are the real deal. And the people that missed out, I want them to be like, okay, here, you snooze, you lose.
Yeah.
So like, I think Series 2 is going to be nuts, especially with Andre the Giant officially licensed.
Can you tell me, because I see everybody asks on your Instagram comments about Andre. Maybe I should wait for Series 2 questions, and I'll do Series 2 questions after we reveal. But first, because Andre is top of mind.
Absolutely.
We've seen the black strap and we've seen the blue strap.
Yes.
Are we getting can I get, because I invited you here.
Yes, sir.
Any detail as to, number one, which version are we getting in Series 2? And number two, is the other version going to be available? Because we've seen multiple head scans of Andre.
Yes.
I call them scans, but there's obviously sculpts.
Sculpts, yeah.
And we've seen blue and black strapped
Yes, sir.
bodies.
Okay, so Series 2, it's going to have one. It's going to have the blue strap Andre, and he's going to have that sort of neutral face, right?
Gotcha.
Beautiful. Love it. Unreal. Alex knocked it out of the park. Jen knocked it out of the park as usual. And then later on down the line, it's still not concrete, so I don't want to say anything. The black strap will be released with the angry, grimacing, mouth open face, which is killer. And here's the cool part. I don't want to dictate what head you could have on your figure. I understand some people might want the angry face on the blue and the, timid face on the black and whatever. So the Andre heads will be removable. So if you get both,
Ha ha!
you could
My
interchange
guy.
them. Yes, sir.
But you would have to get both.
You have to get both.
I love that.
ZombieSailor.com.
And is blackstrap Andre, whenever that's down the line, you
Yes, sir.
said,
Yeah.
is that a single pack, multi-pack? Probably single pack. We don't know.
You mean like is it gonna be sold by itself, like its own wave kind of?
Meaning, are we thinking? Will it be an exclusive? Will it be part of another series? Will it be part of a 2-pack?
Yeah, it probably won't be exclusive. I'm not really a fan of like the whole exclusive thing. Like I'm gonna do a New York Comic Con exclusive Sabu.
Exclusive meaning like you did for Jeff Jarrett,
Yeah.
like a limited
Okay.
time. This is being released by itself, just a special edition figure.
Gotcha. Probably not, just because the Andre name is so big. So it would be foolish for me to like limit it, because let's be real. Like, so you got the blue strap and you got the black strap. There's not really much more you could do with Andre.
Sure.
Right. Or is there? Wink, wink. Yeah. So it's like, it would be foolish for me to just have a small window for Andre. Like, sure, there's gonna be a finite amount of these, but I don't want to make it where it's like that 2-week window for somebody that's like, a lesser talent. And I don't mean that disparaging in any way.
Lesser
I'm just
known,
saying
maybe.
lesser known or whatever. Then maybe. But Andre, especially with how much his licensing costs and like just the fact he has such a big appeal and brings, I guess you could say, like mainstream attention with it.
Sure.
It would just make no sense for me to do that. So I'm pretty sure at the time when it's first available, whoever wants an Andre will get one. But I'm not going to say, hey, wait 2 years and then buy one, because you could, but it's going to be on eBay. It's going to be for a lot more money.
Gotcha.
So,
That makes sense. All right. Well, before I get into all kinds of questions about the toy line, can I see the toy line? I've shown great discipline, by the way.
Yes.
Great
Sam,
discipline.
You've been on your best behavior. I appreciate that.
Because all I want to see is these toys.
Gotcha.
All I want to see is these figures. I pre-ordered. I'm just like everybody else out there. I've pre-ordered the figures that I want in Series 1. I've got the pre-order out for Danhausen. I got the pre-order out for Jeff Jarrett. Like, I'm in. This isn't, I'm in.
I thank you so much, man. I appreciate your support. Seriously, I really do. Yeah, I don't want to say I threw these in the box. Like, I packed these in the box right before I came here again. I was like scrambling, chicken without head to get here, get those orders out. So yeah, I brought you 2 of everybody, right?
Oh.
So you could open one and you can keep one MOC, right?
You're the best. You're the best. Can we show everybody, lift up the box just. I don't want to open the box because I have not seen any of these.
Is that cool?
But it is so cool. Yeah, we could just show it right here. It is so cool.
So that's Sabu's box. I mean, everybody was packed.
But it
solid.
it looks like just the design, and this is the type of geek that I am. Just the design on it. It's just like the old, it's like kind of, it's an old school feeling design on the shipping container. Like you would get excited as a kid.
Absolutely.
If you saw this on top of the shelf at KB or Toys R Us or whatever it is. Like I feel like I might ask you to leave this box behind because there's going to be, because it's exciting just to, the box is cool.
Sam Roberts, that box is yours, my friend.
Yeah. This is all worth it.
That's the whole thing, man. I remember how excited I was when I first saw the pictures of the Hasbros from 2015, the boxes, because I never seen a Hasbro shipping box before. And when it finally showed up, I was so excited. I'm like, God, this is beautiful. Just the brown shipping cartons. So I'm like, why not make that myself? And really cool. Like you'll see on the Heels and Faces logo and on the box, there's not 5 stars. There are 6 stars.
6 stars.
Because we are 1 star above perfection. How about that?
Oh, you got faith. All right. I will allow you, your brand.
All right. Well, Sam, even though I'm going to get your figures out, we cannot handle them without that zombie tender love and care. So give me about 25 minutes to put these gloves made in China, just like the action figures. Let me put these on, and I will absolutely handle those.
Because that, while of course we are going to open one of each, the one that we leave MOC, we have to keep case fresh.
Case fresh, man.
Now, are these MOC? Will they fit in the sort of Hasbro protector cases that people have?
Yeah, definitely. So, well, here's the thing, and I don't want to say definitely. So, all of them fit except for Sabu. And when I got the samples for Sabu, he fit. But unfortunately, because like Sabu's like pointing up in the air doing his signature pose, the arm and the hand placement go up a little high, so it does not fit in a Defender. I mean, if you really cram it in there, it'll fit. Like I got mine to fit. That's what she said. It'll fit, right? So, but yeah, I mean, I don't suggest it, but I mean, it could be done.
The rest of them,
yeah, but
perfect.
don't mess it up and say, I told you to cram it in there. Just,
honestly,
buyer beware.
Just send them out and get them graded right away, right?
Yeah, man. So again, I picked these right before I came out. Like, I hope there's no dings. I look like the biggest jackass.
Oh, so these aren't like special, like TV, internet, YouTube ready. This is just, let me just grab 2 of each and head out the door.
Yeah, like, well, I mean, every figure in the master carton is packed 6 per figure. So like I just opened up a new one of 6 and I did get the 2 best from there. But I mean, they're all looking good,
right?
Of
course.
And the ones that look like shit, don't get me wrong. There's a couple of like with dents or whatever. I'm just putting those aside.
Right.
I'm not gonna send those out.
Right.
So yeah,
right.
Let's see.
Who do you want to show me first?
Well, how about this? First of all, every single order comes packaged with one of these babies.
Let me see. What does it come packaged with?
Well, actually, with let me get these.
Oh,
we got
this
pamphlet for Series 1.
And this is gonna be a high value item. This is like when you go to Rolex. You got to get all the little stuff with it, right? All the little tags, all
you
the
need
little
that stuff.
And look
man.
look at the print on this. It's nice. It's glossy.
It's beautiful.
It's a nice card stock.
Yes, our little thank you note on the back.
Thank you note on the back.
It's like I always say, I really sincerely appreciate everybody's support.
Series 2 will have a much shorter wait time. I mean, which I believe.
Oh, because Series 2 and Series 1 went out to the factory at the same time. So those guys are way into production.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
So like I pretty much have samples already of Series 2. Also, another thing that came with this, a little a preview of what's to come.
Ski. All right, let me use my zoom in there. Let me see if you can get that. Wow.
Beautiful, man.
Wow.
Series 2.
That's what Series 2 is going to look like. And we'll hopefully have time to talk about this a little bit. But so there's your answer about the Andre with the blue strap, Kevin Sullivan with the chain, Raven with the soft goods jacket, Bruiser Brody, King Kong Bundy, Nick Gage.
How about that? How about
you
that?
You were saving this one. Checklist on the back. Look at this. Look at this checklist that it comes with. Oh, this is what, dude. I love that you're a collector. You get it. You get the collectible. There's even a checklist. Okay, and this is going to answer collectors' questions. Okay, this is very interesting here. Okay, because Jeff Jarrett and Danhausen are earmarked as Series 1, which means that, like, completists, it's earmarked as Series 1. Now, this is very important. On this, the official Zombie Sailor documentation, Andre the Giant Blackstrap, and we see a picture of him, is earmarked for Series 2. So when that does get released, will people consider it Series 1? I mean, Series 2, or will they consider it part of a different series?
Yeah, that's probably just a little error from me just overlooking it. Yeah, my graphic guy, John Lucas Reyes, I love you. You're fired. No, no, it's totally my fault. But yeah, just whatever. We put it all together. We made that like the night before the figures came in.
Hey, little question.
Yes, sir.
Series 2, different color carding?
Red cards.
Oh my god. My god.
I also want to say really quick. I mean, I'm not trying to like prolong. So Raven, I mean, we kind of like hit it on the front because we didn't want to like officially say it yet, but you'll see it on the back. So. This is like, there's been a decent number of Raven action figures throughout the years, and he's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. I love Raven. So this is the first time he's ever had an officially licensed band t-shirt.
I see it.
Yeah, so it's officially licensed by the band called Ministry. That was the same shirt he debuted in, and that was one of the few, if not the only shirt he wrestled in ECW and WCW wearing. So now you can have one if you want to have him in your WCW fed or your ECW fed.
I could just tell you're an ECW fan because you put so much work into this Raven figure. Like, you can see the soft goods jacket. You could see the wash on the jeans, which is not... I know from talking to various people, that's a very expensive process. The flannel that's tied around his waist.
Yep, the figure could sit, so you could put him in the side of your turnbuckle, in the corner post, and his arms could bend. And dude, it's gonna be like a premium figure. But again, because I'm such a fan, I wanted to make like the ultimate Raven figure.
Okay, well look, so, I'm gonna pre-order them, but also I'm gonna have you back here when Series 2 comes out.
Oh, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate it. All right.
What do we got?
How about we see the first? How about we see your buddy Matt Cardona?
Matt Cardona. You know, we've had our history, but say what you want. I feel like the major wrestling figure podcast and everything that Brian Myers and Matt Cardona have done are a big part of your success and the company. I think that the fact that they're part of Series 1 is extraordinarily fitting, and that through Series 1 and 2, aside from Nick Gage, they're the only two sort of modern day wrestlers in the line, and I think that's very, very fitting.
Yeah, man. I want to get like classic guys with modern guys and like old school like extreme guys. So, without further ado, Sam, I present to you Matt Cardona. Oh wait, little ding on the package.
That's okay. We'll open this one.
Let's go.
Oh my god. Okay. First of all, my gosh, the carding.
Yes, sir.
That is a quality material. Like this is
Yeah. Would you believe people online were complaining about the card being too thin? People are psychotic, man.
like this card being
Yeah, they're
too
saying
thin?
it's too thin.
All right. Look. You can see. It's not coming off. I felt all these other. It's got the thing here. Full color on the back, which you didn't even have to do, by the way. You could have saved a couple bucks by making it black and white, and you chose not to. I love that you can see the Ron Rudat print
Yes, sir.
on the back so that everybody can see it. You know, in Hasbro, we had to dig those up. You got the credits on the back for everybody. The carding, which, by the way, as a little kid, this is a very funny story. Well, I remember when Hasbro Series 1 came out. I was probably, 5 years old.
Sure.
6 years old, maybe, because I could read. And I got the Jake the Snake Roberts was my first figure. But I saw Andre the Giant was on the back.
Oh, yeah.
And he was at the bottom. And the Hasbros all had these cards on the thing. And it said clip and save on it. And I swear to you, this is the type of idiot kid I was at 6 years old. I was like, oh, Andre the Giant's real name is Clip and Save.
Oh, my God. God help you.
Should we open this one?
Go right ahead, man. Help yourself, yeah.
All right. Look at, and you can see in the bend, you can see the quality on these, and that's glued down tight.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Beautiful.
Wow. And you talked about it, but I thought it was salesmanship.
No.
The Hasbro Shine.
Yeah, that Hasbro Shine is simply ABS plastic. That's all it is.
Oh my gosh.
It's not like we spray them with like a gloss or something, just, yeah. And
It's not vinyl.
No,
it's real.
It's not vinyl. It's not made in a dollar store factory. Yeah.
I did it lightly because I wasn't gonna. Now, what's amazing, and I never noticed it until I felt it in hand, is the metallic paint.
Yes, sir.
That I don't think anybody realizes. The tattoos on the leg.
Look at that. It's insane.
That detail is insane. Because you didn't have to do that.
Didn't have to do
Honestly, Hasbro wouldn't have back in the day. The logos on the knee pad, like the detailing.
Dude, I'm telling you.
And again, like you say, like when you say the detailing is insane, that's almost something that you do when you're describing figures and you don't have anything else to say, but it's like, it's really the case.
I wouldn't talk it up if I didn't have faith in it, because if it came out, it would have been ruined if they didn't live up to the hype. So
look at this thing. Look at it, and you can see it. You can look at the confidence monitor and see it on camera just to look at your handiwork. I mean, this thing is amazing. It says always ready on the back.
Check out the bottom of the foot. Boom.
Oh.
Got to get the little plug in there, little plug ski.
Yeah, the copyright's on there. Wow. Look at that. And you can see the shine beautifully on camera. The wrist tape, obviously.
Yep. You cannot take off the head. You can't take off the arms. You can't, pull it apart like some inferior products.
Yeah, and the head doesn't feel soft. The head doesn't feel hollow like Matt Cardona's head actually is. Okay, and look, there's been a lot of history with this, but I figure people would want a size comparison, right?
Absolutely.
They want to see how it fits in their collection, and we know Mattel did an excellent job with the sizing on the retros for the most part. They fit perfectly. And the retro ring. Mm-hmm. You got to give Mattel credit on that retro ring. Retro ring is great.
That I do like, yes.
Yeah, the retro ring is awesome. The retros work well with Hasbro's. Other companies have had some sizing issues. So let's put it to the test. And I thought that anybody that's a wrestling figure geek, there's only one size comparison to make. And that's with the infamous. It's true. You're seeing it in person. One finger Ludwig Borga. This is it. This is the one.
Piece of history.
That one of the very early running gags on the Major Wrestling Figure podcast was about my one-fingered Ludwig Borga.
Yes, sir.
And so let's set up
Oh,
a
God.
test of strength, because obviously no action movements on these, but it's even better. And I can feel the joints are tight. The joints aren't going to get loose.
Nope. Yep.
Okay. So we got Matt Cardona over here in his gorilla press position, but he's going to set up with a test of strength with Borga.
Insane.
Look at that. It's perfect.
And Borga's like what? Like he's probably built at like what, 6'5"?
Yeah?
6'4"? Cardona, I think, is like 6'2".
Yeah, it looks like he's got about an inch in figure world on Cardona. Now, look, I think Cardona's got the advantage here because he's got 10 fingers and that Borga's only got 9.
He's a little more tan.
He's a little more tan, although if you look closely, Borga is his body is more tan than his head because of sun damage.
Zombie Borga.
But yeah, wow. This is awesome. I am so impressed, and I was like, my expectations were high, but you beat them.
I appreciate
This
that,
is
man.
really cool.
You're not just saying that for the camera, right? You're
No,
being
I mean,
sincere. Yeah.
I mean, you would be able to. I'd be polite.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, this is great. What's next, right?
We'd have moved on to the next
Yeah,
one. We'd have
exactly.
moved on to the next one. Yeah, this is not an infomercial. This is like, let's really take a look at these. All right, who do we have? Who do we have next?
All right, check
let's
this
leave a Cardona in there.
Let's go a little old school with the first ever officially licensed Dino Bravo action figure.
And dude, this applies differently to a great many people. But this Dino Bravo was probably the one that I was most excited about. Dino Bravo has an action figure.
First, can you believe that after however many years since he wrestled, when he was still with us or whatever, there's never been a Dino Bravo action figure. So it was really cool to like make this a reality.
Yes.
His daughter, who controls the estate, she got emotional on the phone when I was talking to her, like giving her, my pitch.
By the way, the font is great.
Thank you, sir.
The name, the font, you picked the right font. I can tell you've really spent a lot of time with the details. Again,
Yes,
we
sir.
don't have to talk about how great all the carding is, but you've got the thing on the back, the sketches, everything is great. UPC?
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
So for those high-end retailers that will be selling the product, they could just scan it into the register.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah. All right, let's crack this
I
open.
love that one. Listen, I love all the figures. I just love how that came out.
The detailing,
Dude, I'm telling you, man, this is
fleur-de-lis,
that's it.
all the fleur-de-lis on there. Wow. This is, this feels like, and look, and this is going back to the metallic. You love the metallic where it's appropriate.
Yes, sir.
The metallic paint on the side of the boots. Yeah. This is great, dude.
Compare that to let's just say other new companies. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's a difference. There's a clear cut. Yeah, it's a different product.
Yep.
It's
exactly.
not and I get where you're saying it's like we're not, those are great.
Yeah.
Oh, what am I going to sit there? But there's it's a premium. This is a premium product.
Absolutely.
This is a premium product. And you made the choice to make a premium product.
Yep.
Yeah. Almost got a hacksaw Jim Duggan vibe with the thickness
That was the idea. Yep.
of him. Yeah.
Mhm.
Look at, I can't be selfish here. Let's let the people
That's
see.
fucking crazy. Dude, that looks awesome on camera. Holy shoot.
How great does that look? Let me put the arm down so you guys can see the body and everything. Again, the joints feel secured. Yeah, there's the you can kind of see it. There's a little glare from my light, but that's it because it's metallic. That's why it's shining back at you. The metallic fleur-de-lis on the side, repping. What's he repping? Montreal, right? Repping Montreal hard.
Hopefully the back is accurate. Yeah, Montreal, Quebec, Canada.
Yeah.
How about that?
Wow. So cool. Okay, and let's see how he compares. Yeah, I mean, dude, you got yourself an action figure line. What is it? Look at the sizing. You got yourself an action figure line, dude.
Yeah, man. It's cool.
Look at this.
It's surreal. It really is.
You must be feeling great.
I'll feel a little more great once all the orders go out. But then I can.
because now you got to deal with customer service.
Yeah, it's nuts, man.
and all that. All right, but forget about customer service. Let's see who's next.
All right, so let's check this out.
Wow.
Why don't we?
Yeah, like I'm really, I want to put those. Like I'm excited I have little kid excitement about these figures.
I appreciate
like
that,
these
man.
these are the type, when you're a kid and you want to put you get a new figure and you want to put it on your bedside table because you're
100%.
excited. Some figures you bring home, you play with in the kitchen. When you're done with dinner, you leave them in the kitchen. Other figures you bring up to your bed and everything.
Yep.
This is that type of.
I appreciate that.
And I know
man.
I sound like a big fat nerd. but that's-
No. Listen, this is who we are.
Yes,
You know what I mean? This is still who I am. And like even nowadays, when I get like a Necro product, should God strike me dead, I still like if I open it up and I'm looking at it, I'm gonna just floor it. I literally will put it directly next to my nightstand and just like leave it there because I'm so blown away by the quality of the stuff.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's get to the next one. You ready for this?
Yeah.
So let's say if Dino Bravo and Matt Cardona have a match, of course,
Which they will.
They will. They need somebody to officiate. We got Earl Hebner.
Earl Hebner, the GOAT referee. By the way, the signature, just like Hasbro skis had. Yeah. And is the signature legit, or are we kayfabing a little bit?
Yeah, it's obviously a facsimile, but that is his
Meaning
signature.
stamp.
Yeah.
Like I'm not asking if everything is signed, but I'm asking
Yeah.
is that a
genuine Earl Hebner, whatever.
That's what his signature is.
That's what his signature.
Gotcha.
Well, maybe God willing, he still signs like that. But yeah, according to my crack team of crackers, no, that's his signature. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. He's got the referee shirt on and the sketch and everything. By the way, who knows? Maybe one day a variant white shirt, LJN style.
Maybe.
But this is great because he comes with a separate hand. Now
Interchangeable hands.
this is where you go beyond the detail.
Yep.
And you start like this because you were saying it's about taking the Hasbro style and modernizing it.
Yep.
Interchangeable hands is a
Yes.
very modern day. It's a very non-Hasbro thing.
Exactly. And check it out. Like I love how there's swivel in like the upper arm or mid arm, whatever. So you could have him like do the count. I cannot stress that enough.
Okay.
That's insane.
I was just a minute ago, I was gonna say there is
Yeah.
no wrist articulation, which is gonna make it tough for him to count 3. But the articulation is in the shirt sleeve,
Yes,
which
sir.
is great because then you've got no lines.
Yes, sir.
And boom, there it is. 1, 2, kick out 2.
See, Sam, it's almost like we know what we're doing.
Yeah, yeah. And see, because if his hand was down like this, it would make it awkward for display because now he's got to stand like this.
Correct.
So instead, boom, like a human being. And let me throw it over here so you guys can see too. There he is with the 2. And he's also got the articulation at the sleeve. I'm going to pop this off.
Yes, sir.
Okay, see, it doesn't just fall off.
Nope. Nice snug.
Yeah.
Goes right in, goes right out. Hopefully.
Give it a little screw ski. Yeah, perfect.
Look at that. 1 count. How
One.
cool is that?
1. And that's what I'm looking for. Okay.
Yeah.
See, the 1 doubles. And that would probably be how I would display mine,
Yeah.
where he's pointing.
You son
'Cause,
of a bitch.
Yeah, Earl would somehow get a little attitude.
Yes, sir.
Right?
It's
Like
Earl
if he
Hebner.
got the old shove from somebody, if Triple H would shove him or something,
Yep.
Earl would shove right back. Earl would get, don't you. And that's what that point's all about.
Earl does not take shit, man.
Wow. Okay. And now let's see. Let's say Cardona is giving him grief. Let's see what this looks like. Hey, you. How great is that, dude?
Dude, it's fucking insane. I'm sorry for cursing, man.
No. Do whatever you want. How much fun? And look, he's got the hands like, oh, no. I didn't mean anything.
Dude, this is crazy to see, man. Oh my God.
That is so cool. You did that. Zombie
crazy.
Sailor.
A lot of credit goes to Alex and Jen and Ron and the whole team. You know, I'm just the guy that's putting everything together.
Man.
I mean, I'm nothing without my team, and I'm nothing without, the clients, the customers. So I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, I want all of them, man. I want Series 2. I want the mail. I want everything right now.
My
please.
whole thing is back in the day when I collected 90s figures, wrestling figures, whatever. If they were really good, I wanted to buy the entire line. I didn't want to pick and choose if money permitted, granted.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't come with the silver spoon in my mouth, but when my mom could, she bought us whoever we wanted. I just want to have a completest line. And I know there's guys that are going to be less desirable if they don't have a bright enough star or what have you, or a spot on the card. But I wanted to make everybody look awesome, that you have to have every single one. This is not a knock to Kevin Sullivan. He's a great guy. I've got to know him. He's awesome. Kevin Sullivan in Series 2, I think, looks fantastic. So I want to have I want everybody to be a completist. So we're going all out to make really cool looks.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I mean, you picked a look on Kevin Sullivan that isn't as well known as like the Taskmaster was in WCW. It's the Florida Championship look.
Yeah.
My favorite look, because I
For
love
sure.
the old, like, satanic gimmick.
I loved it.
But the fact that he's got his face paint and the tongue out, the real chain, the wristbands and everything. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a can't miss.
Yeah. And as far as Taskmaster goes, a lot of people have to understand, why didn't you do Taskmaster, this and that? There's a lot, something intellectual property.
Sure.
That's a WWE or whoever created products. There's certain things you have to do. I have an attorney, a great attorney, and he looks at all this stuff for me. So I just get the green light when I could do it. So I'm not going to step on IPs like some other people and just try to skate by. I'm not doing it. I'm not freaking losing this business. I'm not going to get sued.
And
So, yeah.
you're a details guy.
Yeah,
If you want to try to skirt IP, you have to smudge details,
of course. Yeah.
right? Like that's how you. Well,
Yeah.
technically, I didn't
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
And that's when you've got inaccurate.
Yeah, you're making like
bootleg figure. It's a bootleg figure at that
like,
point, right?
like a Frankenstein figure,
Yeah.
So so we know what we're doing, man. And let's see. All right, so of course, Matt Cardona is not complete without the co-host of the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast,
Oh yeah, tag team partner.
featuring the jumper mechanism, Brian Myers.
Oh, this is so. And I love this because anybody who listens to their podcast knows that like Brian Myers is like a huge fan of the jumpers. By the way,
Yeah.
only person I've ever met that
Yeah.
he likes the jumpers.
He's probably the only person on this planet that's like, the biggest fan of the jumper.
Yeah, I'm a jumper guy.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that before.
That should be a T-shirt also.
Brian,
I'm
I'm a jumper guy.
So
All
yeah,
right,
so
let's
like
crack this open.
I asked him what he wanted to be. This was his choice, So it's
Yeah.
not like I said, I'm gonna make you a jumper.
No, this is, and it's gonna. By the way, it's gonna make it stand out.
Mm-hmm.
This is great. He does, obviously he doesn't have the tab on the back like Hasbro's did because why would he?
Yeah, that would make no sense. Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, knowing him, he is going to go crazy, or probably already has,
Yeah, I've seen it.
for the tattoos for his
Yeah, of
daughter's
course,
names tattooed. And you know what I mean? It's easy with Myers. You can do it in a way where it's going to be very cost effective. Now,
sure.
there's details you can skip that make it so, he becomes the Snake Eyes of the line.
Yeah.
Where you just paint it black, throw
Yeah.
an M on his chest.
100%.
But no, you didn't. Again, back to the metallic flames almost down the legs, the Myers logo on his kick pads, on the back of his tights, the piping on the
Yeah.
singlet top.
It's honestly, of course I'm going to talk up my product, but it's like completely unheard of to have like figures like this detailed in that scale. So
Yeah, I mean, especially with the production that you're doing. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
it's
dude, like again,
usually pretty cost prohibitive.
Sam, let me tell you. So I'm charging $40 for these, right? They realistically should be like $60 each. Realistically, when you factor in what my raw bottom line cost is,
Yeah.
and how much I'm charging after talent and PayPal fees and blah 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 blah, they realistically should be $60 each. But I know nobody would buy them at 60, so I'd rather make a couple dollars on each one than make nothing on none.
Yeah.
So
But I mean, knowing what they are and everything, there's no way you're gonna get these, especially when you open them up. $40 is not. Nobody's gonna feel like $40 for this.
There's so many people that are like that. They're crazy, but whatever. Like, for God's sakes, a gallon of gas is $5. So basically, would you rather have this that you can keep forever, or 8 gallons of gas that lasts you 2 days?
Half a tank of
Yeah,
gas. You get the whole set. Yeah.
It's
You want
crazy.
Brian Myers? You want half a tank of gas?
Yeah, I'll take the Brian Myers.
Yeah. All right.
You ready for the finale?
I know you've been saving the best for last,
Are you ready?
and I know this is the one. Is this the one you stake your reputation on?
Absolutely 100%.
Oh. Oh. From Bombay, Michigan. Are you happy with it?
Love it. Here's Sabu.
Sabu, the homicidal, suicidal, genocidal, death-defying. Look at that. He's got that sneer
Yes, sir.
in the sketch. Ron Redette couldn't have known who Sabu was before.
No idea. I just show him the reference and I tell him what they're about, and he does his thing.
That is so. I'm just looking at it before I open it.
The metallic on the headdress, on the pants.
Oh wow! I didn't even see. Yeah,
Yep.
that you went again. That's one you didn't have to.
Nope. And dude, look at the detail of the scars, how they're raised.
That's big for me because
Yes.
that's
Yes.
when you're a kid. Like it's the table spots and the pants and everything. But Sabu's scars aesthetically were as big a part
Absolutely.
of him. I'm gonna open
Go
it.
crazy, man.
I'm gonna open it. And yeah, I mean, I get that it doesn't fit in a case or whatever, but you got to package them with the finger pointing
Yeah.
up in the air.
Oh, 100%.
Wow.
Look at that.
Look at this with the molded scars, by the way.
Yes, sir. They are on there. They're not just painted on.
Headdress comes off. Look at that. Oh, okay. All right. I was waiting to see this. First of all, okay. I always like little Easter eggs. I always do this with my Hasbros. When you bring the arm down, perfect for DDT.
Here we go.
Boom.
That's it. Yeah. Take his ass out.
Yeah, there is Sabu, and it said that. But the reason that I brought the arm down, actually, let me start with the close up with the arm up, as was intended. See if I can stand him up because he's
Oh shit, he's a little wobbly on there.
a little wobbly because his foot. There it is.
Damn.
Easy peasy. Look at him.
Jesus Lord.
That metallic green on the tights. Here's his headdress. Look at that.
Jesus Christ.
Amazing. So cool to look at. And
Like I mean, of course, I look at these. I've looked at them for the past year and a half. But like now, seeing them in like really good lighting, and then looking at the screen that you have over here set up and seeing them, it's really crazy, man.
yeah, if you look at the Sabu that's on the armband there, it's so cool because it's like you could print that in any number of ways. But the fact that you actually made that, it looks like he scratched it on in the locker room.
Jesus
Right before, and you can see the scars and everything. And the scars, by the way, are not just like painted on; they're molded on.
Crazy. And like even the armband, how it says Sabu, like of course,
Yeah.
we looked at his like photo reference and did that. And
Really?
we made sure that the paint when they were doing it were like as good as possible. Just
Yeah. And there's the back of the waistband that's tied and hanging off the back, and it doesn't like a lot of times. I mean, I guess I'm sure it is, but a lot of times figures like this will like it looks like this is just a piece of rubber plugged in on the back. This goes along with it.
Yes, sir.
It
Yeah.
feels like, a singular piece. Okay, and the waist articulation comes at the pant.
Mm-hmm.
So here. Yeah, this is so awesome. Yeah, I'm sure that you were conscious of it.
I
really
appreciate it, man.
I'm really looking forward to looking at people's ECW collections.
Definitely, man. Oh damn, okay, cool. Yeah,
Grow.
he's standing, God willing.
Oh yeah, he'll stand.
Yeah, cool.
I'm putting it to the test. I'm shaking the table. We're good.
I'm like sweating. I'm like,
I know.
I'm like, I just opened one on.
He should be. Yeah, it's just a matter of.
I swear to God, I opened one on Saturday. It's like, I'm doing there was one like that came with the card, like literally like folded in half.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, let me fucking open this one. I'll add this to the collection of like, this is like my 9,000th Sabu. And like, I put him down, no problem. So I'm like seeing that one wobble. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like sweating over here. People are like, oh, it doesn't fucking work. No.
Oh, that is so cool. I wonder if we can get them all on this thing so you can
Yeah.
see. So like, do you, I mean, it must be tough because I'm sure you want to do 100 Sabus with all different colored pants and everything,
Yeah.
but that's not really the business that you're in.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to do a New York Comic Con Sabu with pink pants and like a cloth like sash around his waist.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it looks really cool because we were debating what colors to give Sabu's pants when like the production was first like going on. So Jen, we painted him like we're like, okay, we'll give him like green, we'll give him pink, whichever one you think looks better, we'll do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I personally like the pink better, and I posted both of them on social media. But what it came down to, more people were commenting about the green.
I think the green is a little more iconic.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, when I think of Sabu in my head, I'm not thinking pink pants right away.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we're doing, man.
Yeah. Look at you with your babies.
I love you. Love you.
Look at that. Heels and Faces Series 1. It's so cool that the technology even exists, that you're a guy who can go from raising some capital by selling, vintage toys on the internet to actually creating this line, seeing it through,
Yes.
which I'm sure is the biggest deal of all. Seeing it through
Yeah.
and realizing this is going to take, a year and a half that we know of publicly. I'm sure quite
Yeah.
a bit more than that
Yeah.
before you, made the announcement.
100%, man.
But now you're in, dude. Now you are in.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, toy production takes a long time. Just, these other companies, like, they'll have a pre-order up and they'll already have it well into production. And, they'll get it a month later, a couple of weeks later, God forbid. And people think that it takes nothing. Dude, they're taking the same amount of time that I am. You know what I mean? The companies, they're not doing anything faster or anything slower. And plus, people forget we're in a big global supply chain issue.
Right.
You know what I mean? My factory was operating at 50% capacity for 3 months. For 3 months, right? And they were shut down for like 2 weeks in like January for the coronavirus spike back up there, whatever they were saying. And then they have Chinese New Year, which is well known in like the industry where that shuts everything down for 2 weeks. So it was like, so whatever. I told people it'd be between December and February. God forbid it's a little later. They're here.
It was a lot later, but it's worth the wait.
And people think I'm just sitting idly by. I'm like, dragging my knuckles. No, man. Like I'm constantly communicating with China and my reps literally every single day. And I stay up until about 2:00 in the morning. I sleep for a little bit and then I get up at like 4:30 just so I can instantly communicate with China.
Oh, because the time difference.
Exactly. So I'm like sleepless and I have so much vested in this that like I'm not gonna half-ass this. I want everything to be, as good, as perfect as I like to say as possible. So yeah, there was no way in hell I was gonna make these get rushed, come out in December, be half-ass, loose joints, fucking wonky eyes. Dude, you have no idea how particular. These people probably can't stand me there because of how like much I was like, not demanding. I'm very kind, very grateful, very appreciative. But like I was very specific. This has to be this way. This has to be that way. And they're probably like, God damn, for these little toys, what does this guy want?
Yeah.
And this is what I wanted. And I'm very, very happy.
So, and I'm sure that you probably could have gotten them a lot earlier.
Yes.
Had you been willing to kind of sacrifice on things.
Not sacrificing anything, man. I don't care. Listen, and I said it at the Major Wrestling Podcast live show they had in Baltimore. What was it, like last Friday? They unboxed it live, in front of like a crowd of like 150 hardcore wrestling fans.
And they'll tell you if they don't like them.
Yeah, exactly. And I said straight up to them, I'm not motivated by money. You know what I mean? I'm really not. I'm motivated by putting out an awesome action figure. And I said, sure, the people are bitching and moaning about the wait time. So be it. You could bitch and moan. I don't care. And if you don't come back for Series 2, that's no problem. Because I know how much I need to make a good profit and whatever. And this blew what I thought would sell out of the water. I started this, not the intent necessarily to get rich, but to make awesome figures for what I wanted. No one else, again, like I said at the start of this conversation, was making it. So I wanted to make it. I just happened in the process, not to sound like, a bragging a-hole, but I made a shitload of money selling Series 1. That wasn't the plan. It came. It's great. So if you don't want to come back for Series 2 because the wait was too long, that's okay. We live in a free country. You could do whatever you want. So
people might not come back. I would guess, looking at these, especially knowing you a little bit, if people decide that they're not coming back for Series 2, they will all be back for Series 3. You know what I mean? It'll be one of those things that now, once we've gotten like the growing pains out, and I would hope that with each series we will get this down a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. I would hope that this series has been successful enough that you're reinvesting.
Oh my God.
Some of the money that you're making into
2/3 of all of the income that I profited went already back into the business.
Right.
I'm talking hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's already back into the business. I'm not going out buying stupid shit. I barely even buy anything for myself anymore. I'm going to be 38 years old. Like everything that I have, everything I want to have. You know what I mean? And like every toy that you could possibly get, it's already there, been there, done that. So now I'm just focused on my brand.
Look at what you're doing now, dude.
Yeah.
You're not collecting toys.
Yeah.
You're making a collection.
Yeah, exactly, man.
You're a toy maker. You're a toy manufacturer.
Yeah.
Okay, so first, when am I getting my Jeff Jarrett?
So Jeff Jarrett they should be leaving the factory mid-August. So like we have a choice. I could either get him sent here by air, which would come in like a week, or get him sent here on boat that could take like, God willing, the supply chains are like better then, which I don't foresee happening in like 5-6 weeks. It might be like a month and a half after that. So I need to determine. Air shipping is crazy expensive. And I know I say I'm going to spare no expense. Yeah, I spare no expense when it comes into the actual production budget. But literally the amount I would spend to get Jeff Jarrett air mailed here, literally every single dollar of profit would be out the window and money out of my pocket to get him here. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just Jeff Jarrett just took a long time. Again,
so it's out of the factory, you're saying
mid-August.
Mid-August?
Yeah.
5 or 6 weeks on a boat?
5 or 6 weeks on a boat, yeah.
So we're thinking mid-September for Jeff Jarrett.
Unfortunately, yeah.
So probably in our hands around October.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
What are we thinking for Danhausen?
Danhausen, probably around the same time.
Okay, so around October, we'll get our Jeff Jarretts and Danhausen, heading in towards, okay.
Yeah, because Danhausen and Jeff Jarrett are like finishing up both right now. You know what I mean? I have the production cape at home right now, which is insane how they were able to replicate the handmade cape that Jen did,
Yes.
how a factory can make this mass produce, it was mind boggling how they could do this. I didn't show it to her in person. I just showed it to her in pictures. She was even herself, who's being in this industry for a number of years, even she was impressed by how accurate they got it to the original hand painted, hand applied prototype, wired cape, everything.
The accessories that are exclusive, because I guess Danhausen will be made available again, theoretically at some point, which, I think that's fine. You said it would.
I'm going to try my best because now with him being in AEW, a lot of stuff changes. Yeah,
so maybe if you didn't pre-order, maybe you missed it.
Yeah, I'm not bullshitting. This is for real. No kayfabe, whatever the fuck it is. There may not be another Danhausen opportunity just because of how his whole contract falls now. Yeah,
and that's not not marketing.
Yeah,
well, you wish you could sell more Danhausens. I'm sure,
dude. The amount of Danhausens that sold in that 2-week Black Friday, I'm not going to give numbers. I'm never going to give final numbers. Maybe off the mic I will be.
Yeah,
but those numbers rivaled like what major mainstream companies sell. I could absolutely guarantee you. I swear to God,
I'm going to ask you off the air for sure.
Yeah, it was insane.
Okay, so will the accessories that were said to be exclusive, are those packed separately?
They will be packed separately. Yeah.
Okay.
So in the photos that we showed, they were in like a little baggie with like, a cardboard top sealed by like 2 staples. And they're just like, just dumped in the bag. So we're actually going to improve it. We're going to put it on its own separate card now, which is really cool.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So it's going to be its own separate card. And another thing, just to clarify, if we do have Danhausen available again in the future, I could promise you now it'll be extremely limited quantity. And the pre-order accessories will not be available forever. We're not going to sell that ever again. Just like Jeff Jarrett, we're not going to sell that Jeff Jarrett ever again.
Right.
I'm not going to go back on my word and lose customers over making a couple of dollars.
Danhausen red card?
Red card, yeah. So because he was supposed to be in Series 2, and I didn't plan on putting up for pre-order, which is this is a very important point I'm going to be talking about now. So he was going to be in Nick Gage's spot. So what happened was he broke his leg, right?
Yeah.
He broke his leg, and these guys, indie wrestlers aren't making they're not making millions of dollars. And, the guy doesn't have, insurance. Wrestling's not paying for it. The indie place that he broke his leg, I'm not saying they didn't help him, but, they're not paying for that whole medical cost. So I just pitched them. I'm like, hey, man, would you mind if I do your stuff pre-order and we'll give you your pay early to help you out with your medical bills? He's like, yeah, that sounds great. He was appreciative of that. Danhausen's a great guy. I speak to him often on social media. And that was a reason why we had Danhausen up for Black Friday. And it happened to be around Black Friday.
Yeah.
So, it's like a perfect freaking storm. And for Black Friday, I was going to put a couple more Sabu's up, but I'm like, shit, this is a great opportunity. So I did it not to make more money. It was to make him more money, essentially, because I would have waited and put him now in this series too,
But now we get Nick Gage in there instead.
Nick Gage.
And then when do you suppose... So Series 2, it says pre-order available September 2022. So is that what we're thinking? The
100%.
pre-order will go up September.
Yeah.
And then...
Leave the factory December, we're looking at. So we're hoping,
really
so we're
that
hoping,
quickly.
I swear to, because I told you we're way into development now. So like I'm hoping to have these in hand Series 2 in like February, like realistically.
And are you hoping that becomes the new timetable? Like has Series 3 kind of...
Series 3 is also in development. I have One Man Gang finished already, just about.
Who's Series 3? You can tell me.
Yeah, just right now, just One Man Gang and Slick, I could tell you.
Okay.
Yeah, but the other guys are already like there, done. You know what I mean? Not done, but to the point where they're gonna... Series 3, I'm telling you right now, there's going to be no wait time. So when I have Series 3 up for sale, I am not going to put those available until I physically have them in hands.
They're not going to be pre-order.
No pre-order. So if they sell out, that's on you. So whatever.
Are you going to get crazy same quantities? Like Series 3 is not going to have less quantity available.
Not necessarily less. I mean, I'm going to take like an average of what each guy sells for and apply it to that. So guys that, like a One Man Gang, I would order probably more than I would of a Slick.
I better book you for an interview. Make sure I get a couple sets.
Yeah, you got it, man. Yeah. So if they sell out, then I might get them back in for a long time. I'm not getting them back in for who knows however long. But yeah, so no pre-order. So if it's now or never kind of thing.
That's crazy. That's going to be a crazy one. And when do you think? Mid next year?
Shit. I mean, I don't want to say like a date. Then people are like, he missed his date. Maybe like April or May of next year.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm aiming. Definitely before the summer, because like I feel like once the summer's here, July, August, people are doing their own thing. They're not necessarily on their phones buying toys.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So. And when are we looking at and then we've got a New York Comic Con Sabu for October. That's when New York Comic Con is.
Yeah.
And then that'll be pre-order.
Yeah, pre-order. So right now I'm trying to get a booth for New York Comic Con, so it's not confirmed. So I may not even have a booth, but even if I don't, hey, whatever, people are still going to be celebrating it. We could celebrate it online together. Right. So regardless if I have a booth or I don't, they'll be available online to some capacity. But
I hope
those
you
will be
do have a
limited.
booth because
Yeah.
now you got a lot of cool stuff
Yeah.
to display
Dude,
for the brand.
Yeah, definitely, man. I want to show so many. Like, I have so many prototypes at home that I want to show, but it's like, I just can't because, like, just I don't want to like just bombard people and put too much on their
Yeah, that
plate. I'm
makes
like,
sense.
oh shit, Serious Who's coming up, but then what's this guy? Where's he from? Like,
Yep.
I don't want to be confusing.
Confusing.
So now it's gonna be like you're like a slow like stream.
Right. No, that makes sense. That's why. And how about the Cardona Gage 2-pack? I was
Yeah.
in person for the match.
I
I
wish I
feel
went.
like that's it's the storyline that really launched Cardona into who he is as a performer now, but that's the kind of definitive match. I feel like his specific look has become kind of iconic for that time period. And of course, getting another Nick Gage is never a bad thing. When is there a timetable on that 2-pack?
I'm hoping it'll be up for pre-order.
Yeah.
Black Friday. That's the idea right now.
Okay.
And then if that is available for pre-order, it should be like a very, very small wait time because Cardona's been at the factory since like November or December. Same thing with Gage. And also Series 2, he's going to have a sculpted shirt. Excuse me.
Yeah.
The 2-pack is going to have a cloth soft goods shirt. He's also going to have a different head, and they're going to come with a boatload of accessories, like like a broken light tube with the blood on it. They're both going to be bloody. They're going to come with a light tube bundle. It's the GCW title officially licensed.
You're getting the GCW title
Yeah,
in
man.
there.
Yeah, it's going to be sick, man. I'm telling you, officially licensed. By
And that'll be your
GCW.
first championship title.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's gonna be cool. And I'm trying. We're working with the factory to get like the actual medallions to be like metal on like a legitimate cloth strap. So
like the old
yeah.
Jack's limited edition.
Yeah, but better. Yeah. So that's what we're doing now, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the bloody, we've seen 4 versions of Gage's head. This normal version,
Yes, sir.
an open mouth aggressive version,
2-pack. Yep.
and then both bloodied.
Yeah. They're both going to be. So the 2-pack, as of right now, it's going to come with that open mouth one, bloodied, and then also made one. I mean, this is what Jen painted, just to give an idea of what we're going to use. She also made him with a black bandana, which is what I believe he wrestled with at GCW against Cardona. So that's going to be a separate head that's going to come with it, so you could like interchange the heads
In the 2-pack?
in the 2-pack. Yes, sir. So it's going to be sick, man. It's going to be really cool. And also the 2-pack is actually going to have elbow joints, so you can kind of do like a little carving up action. You know what I mean? You could do that with Series 2. So I don't want people to skip on Series 2 because it's a great figure.
What's this? So the Series 2 has the sculpted shirt, has the regular head, has the light tube, which is
Light tube,
amazing.
yeah, and a pizza cutter.
He does come with a pizza
Working
cutter.
pizza cutter. The fucking blade's
It
gonna
spins?
spin. Yeah, man, it's cool.
He's got the MDK hand.
Mm-hmm.
And then does he have a separate hand for the pizza cutter? Or does the pizza cutter fit in the light tube hand?
Pizza cutter's gonna fit in a light tube hand, but we're like right now we're working with them for them to like replicate the right hand to kind of like swap it so we can have a left hand one so we can hold both at the same time. So it's like it's a really cool figure. I'm gonna say like 99% it's most likely gonna be like that. So yeah, I know it'll be awesome as fuck to have him with the light tube in one hand and a fucking pizza cutter in the other hand.
I just love the idea that after Series 2, right,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to have every era of hardcore represented. You're going to have the 80s with Kevin Sullivan and Bruiser Brody.
Yes, sir.
You're going to have the 90s with Sabu
Yeah.
and Raven.
Yep.
And then you're going to have the current era with Nick Gage. Eventually the 2-pack with Deathmatch King, Matt Cardona.
Dude,
And
I'm
I love that the title's going to be with that 2-pack.
It's gonna be sick, man. But that's the thing, I eat, breathe, sleep old school wrestling and just action figures in general. And this is a well thought out plan, man. Like I'm doing this every single waking hour of every single day. It's not like, okay, on Tuesday I'll work on the line, or on Saturday, fuck, I gotta do this. Morning, noon, and night. You know what I mean? And again, this wasn't an accident that these look great. Like if I'm not throwing anybody under the bus or anything, but I'm just saying, like, if anybody devoted this much time as I do to a series, they would have awesome looking toys. I'm not saying other people don't. I'm just saying, like,
This is your only thing.
this is my only
your
thing.
thing.
Yeah, this is all I'm focused on right now. But I mean, listen, I'm branching out outside of wrestling. I'm not going to announce who I have or what I'm doing or what the property is. But yeah, I'm doing stuff outside. I don't want to just be known as a wrestling guy, even though I would not hate that. But yeah, I'm getting, I have other licenses in the pipeline, making a lot of cool stuff. And
So if you were to get another license, do you feel like they'd be in scale with heels and faces?
oh yeah,
Okay, so you're looking
Yeah.
at creating a world.
yes sir, yeah,
And that's what you kind of did in all your descriptions. It's of course like WWE, Hasbro is a big motivator and an influence, but
Yeah.
like your whole thing is 80s
90s, yeah.
toys,
Exactly, man.
right? Like, and that's where they're not all exactly like, save for Cardona and Myers. The rest of them are not like we said. You could see the hacksaw influence, but really only in the lower body and torso a little bit. Like you pretty quickly move away from being directly influenced by Hasbro and into kind of like, just in the kind of very basic articulation, which is, I say basic articulation in the very best way. It's exactly what it should be. Other than, of course, the Raven that I'm very anxious to see how you pull off the. So he's got, because in the picture of Raven, he's got his arms spread out, but we've got ball jointed shoulders, so his arms go down, and he's actually going to be able to. You're going way off the Hasbro path, and he's going to be able to sit in the corner. You're not going to come out with a ring.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You're doing a ring?
Oh, it's gonna be sick. Yeah, we're working on it right now. It's gonna fucking blow your mind. Yeah, it's gonna be sick. Yeah.
What can you do?
Yeah. I'll tell you off air.
Yeah,
man.
I gotta have a whole other conversation to have with you off the air. Well, Zombie, is there anything that you haven't said that you want people to be aware of? Or, I mean, I told you months ago, I want to talk to you about this stuff. I'm so into what you're doing. And let's wait until the figures are in hand. Come over here, and we'll sit down, have a conversation, and unbox some of these figures in studio. And I'm really glad that you took me up on it. And I hope you'll take me up again when Series 2 is in hand. We should do it again.
Dude, definitely, man. And again, sooner than later. Series 2 is going to be nuts. That Raven, the Andre, dude, all of them. Bruiser Brody.
Oh, I love Bruiser Brody.
Yeah, and another thing, Bruiser Brody's going to come with a soft goods fur vest that you could only get for pre-order. So the thing is, like, everybody that, gives their money ahead of time, like, I appreciate that and I understand. And, like, I want to give them, at least a little gift for saying thank you for believing in me, and here's your reward for buying it early, right?
Yes.
So just because I don't want people to be like, okay, I pre-ordered this June 16th of 2021, but now I could just go back on your site now and buy it. What was the purpose of buying in advance? So I always want to give somebody some sort of bonus accessory. We're working on a bonus accessory for Andre. Like I said, we have the Bruiser Brody cloth. We're working on something for Sullivan. So I just basically I'm not saying I want to throw somebody a bone, but I want to show my appreciation. You know what I mean? And give you that little bit of incentive to fucking jump on it fast.
Yeah.
And then who knows, in the future, that little accessory might sell more than the actual figure that you paid for.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at the Hasbro market.
Yeah.
Look at how much Frankie the Bird goes for.
Yeah. He probably goes for more than Coco, right? It's insane. It's insane, man. But yeah, I just want people to know I truly appreciate them. I mean, depending on when.
We've got a Dino Bravo.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane.
We've got a Dino Bravo figure.
Dude, talking to his daughter on the phone, she almost cried saying she can't wait to give her sons, like, her grandfather. It's like, their grandfather.
It's a big part of legacy, right?
It's crazy, man.
Well, that's amazing. You can go to zombiesailor.com. Is that right?
Yeah, zombiesailor.com. Like, after all the orders get packed up, depending on when this interview airs, like, hopefully.
I'll put it up right away.
Oh, cool, man. Yeah. So yeah, if you guys are listening, you purchased something, I appreciate it. If you didn't get tracking yet, you will get it. It's me and 3 other people boxing up all the orders. And
so crazy.
Yeah, so we're doing our best. We're making sure everything is packed securely. If you got a tracking number and it didn't move, your package is not lost. UPS or the post office simply didn't pick it up yet. So everything's going to go out. Right now, our goal is to have everything out a week from Friday. Right now, today is Tuesday. We're
doing this interview on Tuesday. It'll probably be up on either Wednesday or Thursday. So, yeah, a week from Friday.
Cool, yeah. So, yeah. And then, yeah, I foresee everything going out by then. And then, yeah, just stay tuned for Series 2 and everything else we have in the pipeline. And again, guys, thank you very much for your support. And thank you for my beautiful, brilliant team for making this all possible. And more importantly, thank you, Sam, for having me here.
Oh, please.
And helping to spread the word, man.
I'm still going to get the order that I paid for, too, right?
Damn it. Yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah. This is my gift, man. Yeah, no worries.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. This is very, very exciting. Let's celebrate. Let's encourage. If you've got the means, if you're a figure collector, whatever, like, I love getting behind independent stuff, especially when it's done this well, and it's kind of, this is the stuff we thought about as kids, and it's finally getting done. So.
Definitely, man. But by supporting me, you're getting yourself a cool toy, and you're supporting the talent that it is that you're buying a figure from.
Yeah.
And if they passed on, unfortunately, it's going directly to their estate, to their widow, to their children.
Throw Earl a bone. Yeah, throw Earl a bone.
Definitely.
He can point. Dino, not on my watch. It's going to be great.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you guys.
I
Thank you
can't
so
wait.
much.
I'll see you again for series 2, dude.
I'll be here, man.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Sam.